Video games. Do they cause violence?
No.
Thoughts?
Well, I mean, they cause broken controllers.
Yeah.
So, so do sports betting now. I mean, we saw that after the last Super Bowl.
What happened?
Countless videos on social media of people who probably bet more money than they should have and smashed their TVs because the Eagles lost.
There's the one of the guy who he's literally he's like standing right in front of me, just takes it off the wall and
so this is a trope that's
They didn't lose enough money,
been
so they got to
around.
smash a TV too.
If video games don't cause people to be violent, then can they really claim that that they're going to make kids gay by making characters gay in movies and television?
Is anyone claiming that?
Yes, I do believe there are people that say that there's a gay agenda.
So that's not no. So you're saying two different things there. There's one thing if there's a gay agenda. There's another thing if gay characters in media actually have an influence on children.
Okay.
So
you don't believe that? Do you believe that people are that there are people that actually believe that if they show gay characters that it's going to make their kids gay?
I'm sure there's people that believe that, but I don't think that's the main issue with the LGBTQ kind of propaganda, if you will.
What's the main issue then?
That it's just in everything, every asset and every aspect of life,
and out of proportion to how many people there are.
Dude, if it wasn't LGBTQ, we could talk about grilled cheese sandwiches. What if tomorrow every song you listen to had the lyric grilled cheese sandwiches, and every movie and show you watched and every advertisement showed a hot Victoria's Secret model with a grilled cheese sandwich? You'd be like, dude, what is up with these sandwiches everywhere in my face all the time?
It's really funny. I have normie friends who are just starting to notice on movies and television. I'm like, oh, this has been going on for 8-10 years now, buddy.
Forever.
It's been going on forever.
No, I think the answer is no to your question, though. Video games do not make people violent. It just it just doesn't make sense. Where's the violence then? If they do, we're not seeing it anywhere, because how many million of concurrent players does Call of Duty have?
It's always easy to
and that's one game
to break it down to one example of something bad that happens, not remembering how many hundreds of millions of people play games.
If video games made people violent, if the video games themselves just made normal, not mentally ill, not maladjusted people.
Right.
If it took a normally adjusted person that had a normal family life and made them violent, then you would see, significantly more violence.
Yeah.
Because everybody plays video games.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Got a $20 super chat here. Ace Mendangle?
Yep.
Is that right?
That looks right.
Okay. Speaking of not understanding culture, what are your thoughts on the show Shameless?
Never
Brett?
watched Shameless.
Shameless was good.
I had a roommate.
I have a take.
I had a roommate who loved Shameless, and it was always it was always very loud from the next room when I was trying to work, and it just turned me off the show.
Yeah, it's a loud show.
What's your take? You got a take on it?
There's another super chat that I'm going to read right now, and then we'll jump back. Braymont for $20. If video games cause violence, I'm a sleepwalking Zodiac killer.
Yeah.
Disavow. As for what was it? We were talking about the
Shameless.
Shameless. So one of the things we talk about, things that are shoehorned into culture. Shameless had an episode where there was bad people. I think they were Donald Trump voters or whatever, and they were suppressing vote or whatever. And Antifa was out beating up the bad Donald Trump supporters. That means you're taking literal terrorists.
Yeah.
Because that's what Antifa is. They use violence to affect a political result. That is terrorism.
I didn't know they were just Shameless has 12 seasons now?
I'm not sure, but
this must be one of the recent ones, because they were never really topical.
I'm not sure how recent, but it was maybe 2 years ago.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So
2-3 years.
I stopped watching maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah. But I couldn't believe it. They're talking about Antifa, and again, they characterized Antifa as the good guys. They were like, "Yo, we got to go help Antifa." Blah blah blah. And it's like, these are the people that were literally the Antifa are the ones that were rioting during the summer 2020. Like, the people during the day were the protesters. They were there protesting. They were peaceful, and then Antifa would show up at night, because they were all drug addict scumbags, and they were the ones that picked fights with the cops when the actual activist protesters that were decent people left.
Yep.
That was the way that it went all the time. The daytime was normal protests, and then at night, the Antifa people showed up, and they were the ones that were going there specifically to fight cops.
Because bad people have learned that they can attach themselves to good causes.
100%.
Well, I was just going to say with the video games thing and even like shows like this, you're more often like if there's someone that does something reprehensible and they leave a note or leave a manifesto, if you will, right? More often than not, you're going to see like these leftist talking points that they just parrot in their own words. You don't see them
not even
citing video games.
Words.
You don't see them citing they might cite Antifa, but they're not citing Shameless, the TV show, you know? So it's more off, I would say the news has a way bigger impact than arts and creative media.
Especially because the news twists the actual stories to come up with a certain perspective.
And they present it to you like this is the reality. This is your reality. And it's like I'll walk outside my front door and look around like I'm John Travolta and I'm just shrugging. I'm like I don't know what the fuss is all about, you know?
Totally.
And that's why I think a lot of times people say go touch grass and it comes off the wrong way, but it's like literally go outside and just walk around, take a deep breath, you're gonna be okay.
Saying "go touch grass" basically comes off as "go f yourself" now.
Yeah.
It's phrased in a way that's.
But it's rooted in something actually healthy and good.
But it's probably a good idea to, if you're gonna tell someone to go touch grass, it's probably a good idea to say something like, "Hey, maybe you should unplug for a bit."
Right.
Yes,
as opposed to go touch grass, dude. You know, like you're just gonna bump people up.
So this is gonna be a controversial question, maybe. Whoa,
Crisis Party. See, Tom Cruise could have touched some grass there. He might not have yelled at anyone. Same with Christian Bale. If he had just touched a little grass.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Let's not take a fucking minute. Let's go again.
Brett, this is a question for you. Obviously, this is a show, right? But do you think people like you and other influencers in the space, whether it's pop culture or politics, do you think they should be doing more to preach a unplug, get offline?
I do that all the time.
You know how every year, there's a day, it's called Earth Day, and we're supposed to, think about the environment, do what we can, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
At worst, it's annoying seeing all the tweets and messages. At best, you're going to get less litter on the ground, people are actually going to do good things. Should people and creators like yourself and maybe others in this sphere, this realm that we're in, should they be doing more to preach that message?
No, I don't think anybody in these spheres owes anyone anything or any type of explanation or anything. I do, however, like to post. I quite often post, like when I go out and skate, I'll post on Instagram, like, look, I was stuck doom scrolling. I was lost and I was in a really bad place earlier. I'm now getting physical activity, and I'll literally like talk to my phone while skating, like doing trick skating. And that's a way of me to like share with people. I'm like, you don't have to go skating, go run, go walk, go do something physical, because it's amazing how good it is for you to just get out of your house, get away from your computer, get away from your phone, whatever you can do outside. Just fresh air is really, really good for you. But I don't think anybody owes anyone that.
No, I don't think anyone owes anything, but I'm just saying, people look up to you. People will look at your posts.
That's a horrible idea.
People will see your posts and they're going to get inspired whether you like it or not. I mean, that's the position that you're in. So, I'm glad that you're doing stuff like that, but I think you're in the minority with that. And I think more people should be preaching that message because it's just being healthy. That's at the end of the day.
Like go be healthy like Eric DeJuly says, be athletic.
Yep.
That's what he says, be athletic. Doll click in the chat says, go prune your roses. Go pull your weeds. That's good. Oh, there's a one right there from
nice.
Chicken Bacon Skinwalker Ranch. Trans exclusionary radical feminists. Trans inclusionary radical feminists. They're both TERFs. Yeah, fair enough. But when you say TERF, people are going to know what you're talking about. If you say TERF the other way, they're going to be like, no.
Man, but dude, they're not necessarily TERFs, because people who are like gays against groomers would be considered TERFs. They're not radical.
No, they
make bumper stickers.
Well, no, but it depends on what you mean, because radical feminism is a thing. So the radical part is a part of the feminism. So it's a way to designate the type of feminism. There's first wave, second wave, third wave, and radical feminism is one of the ways to talk about the more extreme feminists. A lot of radical feminists are like, we don't want anything to do with men, right? So there are feminists that are like, oh, I'm a feminist. Your normal feminist that's like, oh, I'm not a lesbian. I'm okay with men. A lot of rad femmes hate men, right? They're just like, I hate guys. Men are terrible. Men are the problem. Blah blah blah. And they're that's a terrible opinion, but they can have that opinion.
Right.
One of my favorite memes of all time is this guy who goes, you don't like trans women because you're transphobic. I don't like trans women because they're women. We are not the same.
Yeah.
Trans inclusionary radical misogyny.
Yeah. I saw that.
All right. So yeah, I mean, to me, like the video game, it's just really funny that the video game discussion keeps coming back up. It just never goes away. Every few years, they point out that. Remember when they were talking about how Joker was going to inspire violence too? How it was going to be an incel uprising because of the Joker movie,
Yeah,
and the media was like, "We want it. We want the massacre," because the media wants the ratings, right? Because the media is evil.
And they were assuming that it was the right people that would be doing it. It would be the incels, the males that hate women, and they can call them the basket of deplorable people. Blah blah blah.
And then there was actual cops at the movie premieres. Like at the theaters, there was cops there over a completely manufactured. Like there was no basis behind it.
I think the connection they made, which in my opinion was loose and bad, but the connection was the guy that did the shooting in Aurora.
In 2012.
Yeah, in 2012.
Like a decade, like not quite a decade, but nearly a decade earlier from The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
Right? Like, but the media wanted it. They wanted it so badly.
They always want. They want that
if
stuff
it bleeds,
because it's the ratings, because it's content for them. And the more dramatic, the better. I mean, look, nobody really wants an actual nuclear exchange between the United States and Russia.
Yeah.
But there's a whole lot of people in the media that wouldn't be mad if Russia threw a couple nuclear artillery shells into Ukraine.
I think people have their heads so far up their own butts.
Yep.
That they're not thinking. They're just thinking about, oh my God, imagine the clicks we're gonna get if a bomb goes off. And it's like, dude,
and I'm not gonna lie, it's very easy to understand how a ghoulish person gets there.
Yeah.
Because like even here doing this job, like when there's good news, and you're excited to talk about it. It's not a far walk from, oh, I hope something interesting happens to a celebrity today, to a horrible person who's just like, look, like misery is my business.
I mean, look, that site Media Matters, they have people that just do Tucker Carlson, and when Tucker Carlson got fired, these
out of a
people
job.
were like, they were like, oh, this is good. And it's like, that guy is like half of your content. Why do you think it's good? Right?
Yeah.
But they were pumped about it. And it's like, well, maybe it's not that great.
Cheering their own destruction.
And
exactly.
at the end of the day, it's a guy who, I mean, Tucker's going to be fine. But when someone gets fired, like, who's just expressing opinions, like it's not for cause. Someone's livelihood just got shaken up pretty badly. That's like with the COVID, when COVID in 2020, people are losing their jobs. And people were cheering for that. They're like, good. And I'm like, dude, do you know what you're cheering for?
No. Horrible things.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.